to talk to you about the difference between a back extension and a hip extension. Now, most of you are probably performing a back extension where you're letting your back go into lumbar flexion at the bottom of the movement and then taking your back through neutral and then hyperextension of your lumbar area at the top of the movement. Now, I think that this form of back extension can have positive effects and can be a practical application of the back extension for some populations. Maybe especially for strength athletes who are putting their back in a flexion position, that are choosing to put their back in a flexion position during the deadlift to lift more weight. So they might want to become more trained in this type of movement. However, for most general population clients, I strongly believe that we should only be doing a hip extension, and we should be drilling in the hip hinge movement here where the back is staying straight and the power is generated through the glutes and hamstrings. So this technique is going to be safe for the spine. It's not going to cause any damage to the spinal discs, and that might not be the case with a spinal flexion movement. Okay? I don't want to necessarily say that spinal flexion is a bad thing, but I don't think it's a pattern that we need to consistently drill with general population clients who are already struggling with the concept of neutral spine and maybe need to learn how to keep their back in a neutral position and use the muscles that surround the spine and the muscles of the glutes and hamstrings to protect the spine. So first I'm going to show you the way that you're probably doing your back extension, and then I'm going to show you how I want you to do the back extension using a hip hinge movement only. So you're probably starting in a rounded position at the bottom and then forcefully coming up to lumbar hyperextension at the top of the movement. As you can see, I'm generating a lot of extension, hyperextension at my lower lumbar area. And next, I'm going to show you how I teach my clients how to do a back extension. So in this variation, we're focusing on keeping the back in neutral, starting from that straight line position. I like to palpate my rib cage and my AS-IS so I can focus on keeping a neutral spine and keeping alignment of my rib cage over top of my pelvis. Then I'm thinking about keeping that straight position, neutral position through my spine and generating a hip hinge. So my back is staying really neutral and then I'm squeezing my glutes only. So this is going to have most benefit for the hamstrings and glutes and teaching the client how to maintain that neutral spine with the hip extension. So I hope that that proved helpful for you and that you can apply that to your back extension.